It's time for Rodericks for breakfast. And here's Dan Rodericks.
That's good coffee. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Hell's Kitchen. We're having coffee from the Daily Grind this morning, and we're inviting you to pull up a throw rug and have a seat, pour yourself a bowl of frosted mini wheats, and join us for the best 2 hours of live local television coming from a kitchen. That's not me bragging. That's according to the readers of Baltimore Magazine and the City Paper. We're still waiting to hear what the East Baltimore Guide thinks about it. Talk about think. You'll get a chance to do plenty of that today as we explore the following subjects. Could I have the guest check, please, folks? Here's what we have on the show for you. The jury is deliberating that Michigan murder case involving the Jenny Jones TV talk show. We'll talk about that case and its impact on the TV industry with a woman who produced one of the many talk shows on the air. Joy Rolla is our guest today. Jive, rap, and American slang. Slangster Tom Dalzell talks about the language of youth through the 20th century. Flappers to rappers. What's your favorite movie? Film maven George Figgs and I will take your calls. You can tell us your favorite film. And did Mozart write his own musical eulogy? Choral Arts Society director Tom Hall, one of Baltimore's coolest classical guys, talks about the Mozart Requiem being performed this afternoon at the Meyerhoff at 12:30. Plus, we'll have the weekly gripe session for you and hear the music of jazz great Carl Grubbs right here in the studio. Our breakfast bazaar item this week, if you're interested in bidding, 481-9910 is the phone number. Do you remember this? I have friends who grew up in Baltimore in the 1960s who remember this album. Pennant Fever. Let's have a little taste of this. Produced by, well, the words of music by Robert Goodman. Produced by Roy Ross.
Pennant fever, I'm knocking on wood.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc, I got pennant fever, and the feeling is good.
I mean, we're a little late for Pennant Fever this year, I guess, but Jackie McGuire, one of our viewers, donated this album. It's in good shape. The musical score for a real-life story, Pennant Fever, what happened to the city of Baltimore in the summer of 1964 when the Orioles got hot. That's Brooksy on the cover of this album. What am I bid? All the donations, I'm sorry, all the proceeds from today's auction go to the Pride of Baltimore, too, to help us pay for the phone call we're trying to make to the captain of the Pride of Baltimore, who's out on High Seas Radio, and that's expensive. So, if you want the Pennant Fever album, bid at 481-9910. Fax us your bid at 481-9446. All the proceeds go to Pride of Baltimore, too. And we are going to try to hook up with the Pride captain a little while on the radio. First, here's a question for you this morning. Spaghetti. Spaghetti. Spaghetti is a good source of carbohydrates, but is it a good source of building material? We get the answer this weekend as Hopkins engineering students take part in the spaghetti bridge building competition. Here's Liz and Matt, right?
Yes,
Down there to tell us about it. Liz and Matt, do I have that right?
Yes.
Yes.
How are you guys this morning?
Tired?
Are you tired? You've been up all night building a spaghetti bridge?
Of course.
Well, is that your spaghetti bridge right there?
Yeah, that's mine.
Matt's bridge.
Matt, what's your last name, Matt?
Hayden.
Hayden. Matt, and you're an engineering student at Hopkins?
Yes, sir.
And this is made with dry spaghetti, wet spaghetti?
It's dry.
It's all dry.
It's covered in epoxy.
So you get to use epoxy, you get to use coagulants.
Yeah.
How you like that for a scientific word?
Yeah, it's a pretty good scientific word.
Now, you guys, what are the rules of this game, Matt and Liz? Liz, can you tell us what are the ground rules for building these spaghetti bridges?
They have to weigh under, they have like a certain weight requirement that you have to be under.
It's about a pound and a half. It's got to
Yeah,
be
it's
less
about a pound and a half. They have to be less than 50 centimeters tall, and they have to span across a meter between two surfaces. And for our class, they have to hold at least 2 kilograms.
Oh, they have to actually hold some weight. So
Yeah,
this isn't,
they do.
You're not just building models here for people to
No.
look at, right?
No, they actually are holding weight.
Gee whiz. Now, how has spaghetti been to work with? Would you prefer to work with fettuccine or lasagna?
Spaghetti's kind of easy because it's straight.
It's straight.
Yeah.
You don't want anything too wavy like
Nah.
fettuccine can be. And I was told that spaghetti that's partially cooked actually can be stronger than the brittle spaghetti out of the box.
That's true, but we didn't really feel like fooling with cooking spaghetti because it took way too much time.
Yeah.
Engineering is evil. It's 4 a.m. You guys have been up all night working on these spaghetti bridges?
pretty much all week.
Well, we have a competition tomorrow, right? Folks are going to get to actually look at these. And, Matt, they're all going to be tested tomorrow for weight. Is that right?
Yes, they are.
Down at the Science Center.
Yep, down at the Science Center.
Spaghetti bridges. I never thought I'd live to see spaghetti bridges, really. Honest to God.
Neither did we.
Yeah, have you given it a test yet to see if it can hold any weight?
We haven't tested them now, but
Would you like to do it on live local television?
no, because
Why?
we
Come
don't
on,
mess it
Matt.
up yet.
Oh, come on, Matt.
No,
Don't you have any nerves?
ours is twisted as it is. We don't want to mess it up.
But eventually you're going to have to put some weight on there. Like, don't you have like a McDonald's Happy Meal toy you can put on there or something?
Actually, we have a clothespin who's our little mascot.
Right.
Yeah, we kind of painted him up. He's our good luck charm.
He's not going to jump off that bridge, is he?
No, he's just hanging there.
All right, he's not suffering from depression this morning.
No.
I'm glad to hear that. By the way, is San Giorgio really good to work with?
It's whatever we could get.
See, but I noticed you use San Giorgio. Now on sale at 84 Lumber. Okay. Oh, no, what's that, Prince? Muller's.
Yeah, we've got.
All right. Matt and Liz, thanks for your time this morning, and good luck in the competition.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
Okay. The Spaghetti Bridge Building Competition, this is for real, takes place tomorrow from 1 to 5 at the Maryland Science Center. You know where that is, and you'll get a chance to cast your vote on all sorts of different categories down there, including Best of Show. Before we move on for our first guest this morning, celebrity photographer John Matthew Smith, let's get a quick check of the news. Let's check over to the newsroom. Here's Amy Landsman. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, everyone. In the news today, the Army is strengthening its buddy system in the wake of a scandal that may be more damaging than Tailhook was to the Navy. The move comes after allegations that at least a dozen female recruits were raped or harassed by their instructors at the Aberdeen Proving Ground. 4 drill instructors and a captain, all married, are charged with violations ranging from rape to sending improper love letters to women trainees. The 22-year-old suspect who was shot dead after wounding a Baltimore police officer had a prior record. Darrell's Anton Barnes had a criminal history that includes assault with intent to kill. Officer Christopher Street is in stable condition at shock trauma. Street was shot while serving a warrant on Barnes, who was wanted for firing at police Thursday night in Baltimore County. And powerful storms ripped through the state yesterday. Strong winds tore the roof off a house and flipped over a house trailer in Baltimore County. Baltimore County Fire Department spokesman Mike Hubbard says a tornado may have touched down in Dundalk. Boats in Bear Creek were lifted out of the water and onto land. 1 person was injured. And let's take a look at our weekend weather. The current temperature is 50 right now. Not a good weekend for raking all those leaves. Patchy rain, cloudy and cool today. Temperatures in the mid-50s. Tonight, clouds, cold, low in the mid-30s. And tomorrow, mostly cloudy, scattered flurries, high in the upper 40s. And that's our report, Dan. We go back to you.
Okay, Amy, thanks very much. $50 is the bid, I'm told already, for the Pen and Fever album. Okay, 481-9910, that's to help the Pride of Baltimore 2. Donations go to the Pride of Baltimore 2 to help pay for that phone call we hope we'll get sometime today from the captain. Coming up, how would you like to get up close and personal with your favorite celebrities? Sound like a dream come true? It's an everyday job for photographer John Matthew Smith. He'll show us some of his famous photos when Breakfast with Rodericks. Rodericks for Breakfast continues.
You're in a car trapped in floodwaters. Every second counts. In an exclusive reenactment, News Channel 2 Stan Stovall shows you how to get out alive. Watch Underwater Rescue, Tuesday at 5 and 11 on News Channel 2. Coverage, community commitment.
Now at Standard Carpet, save 50%. Pay nothing till $19.97. No money down, no interest. Look for the red tag and save 50% right now. Only at Standard Carpet.
Standard Carpet, the quality carpet people. It's the holiday season, there's a reason, it's universally known. Decorating is a family thing, it brings out the love in your home. We appreciate your business, and you know it at Valley View Farm.
But this whole place looks like a wonderland.
It's fantastic.
Eastern Manufacturing celebrates the grand opening of its Gaithersburg Factory Direct Superstore. Save big on Factory Direct pool tables, spas and hot tubs, gas logs and vent-free fireplaces, fitness equipment, tanning beds, and more. The state's largest selection of quality slate pool tables. Everyone at guaranteed lowest prices. Spas and hot tubs, every size, every shape, every color. Grand opening price from only $19.75. Tanning systems, $888. Gas logs and fitness equipment, $99. Eastern Manufacturing, because nobody should pay retail anymore.
Is it important to have a good breakfast before you go out fishing?
Yeah, I like to, yeah.
Do you ever miss having breakfast in the morning?
Yeah, that happens.
And if you did, would you maybe have it for lunch or dinner?
Absolutely.
Well, how about IHOP's gourmet pancake breakfast for $3.99? You get harvest grain and nut, or pumpkin, or country griddle cakes with eggs, bacon, and hash browns for $3.99.
Yeah, I think I could handle that.
This is Cliff here by the Bay, reminding you that any time's a good time for breakfast at IHOP. John, we're talking a pancake breakfast that big. Oh, all right. Well, maybe that big. Oh, well, you know.
See, it says right there on the corner of the screen, Rodericks for breakfast, Rodericks for breakfast. Last week we tried to hook up via High Seas Radio with the captain of the Pride of Baltimore 2. We try again to reach Captain Robert Glover this morning as the Pride finishes its Atlantic crossing. Captain, are you there? Over.
Good morning, Mr. Rodericks. This is Captain Glover. How do you hear us this morning?
We're doing fine here, Captain. Can you tell us what your position is? Where are you? Over.
We're roughly at this time about 180 miles of St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, okay?
St. Tom, not bad, and I assume the weather's pretty nice there, or maybe I shouldn't assume that. How is the weather where you are?
This morning it's just fine. We don't have much wind this morning, but it's mostly sunny with just scattered rain showers around. But it is quite nice this morning, over. It's about 82 degrees here this time.
Okay, Captain, we'll see you back in Baltimore on November 29th. Have a good trip back. Over. Thank you.
Great talking to you this morning, and give all our best to Maryland. We appreciate it, and we look forward to getting back.
All right, Captain. Thanks very much. Robert Glover. We managed to hear some of that. That was pretty good. He's back in town with the Pride crew November 29th. We hope to have him on the show. Just a reminder, November 29th at the Inner Harbor. We'll be down there. Okay. Hey, here's something for you. Ever wonder where all these celebrity photos come from? You know, the ones you find in supermarket checkout rags? One source is the paparazzi, the photographer who works full-time at getting candid shots of the rich, famous, and powerful. John Matthew Smith does that, and he lives right here in Baltimore. He joins us in the studio this morning. John Matthew, how you doing?
Oh,
Doing good this morning? How long have you been at this as a hunting down the celebrities to take their pictures?
About 6 years.
And why? What drew you to this?
I just enjoy people, and I guess I enjoy famous people.
Yeah.
A lot.
Let's look at some of these. You know what amazes me is that you managed to get up close to famous people.
Yeah.
Let's see, the first one you have here. I'm going to just show these right over my shoulder so you can see them at home there. Say hey.
Big
Willie
Willie.
Mays, right?
Yeah.
Now, where'd you encounter him? Tell us the
Well,
circumstances of it.
that was at a card show, and the guy warned me. He apparently knew I wasn't there for an autograph. I was there for pictures. And he said, you know, you'll never get Willie to smile, because I really was hoping to get him to smile. And I went over, and I was hitting Willie pretty hard. I took about 30, 40 close-ups.
No objection to that, right?
Oh, no,
They
no
don't object to you taking pictures.
No, but after about 30 or 40, Willie went like this. Like,
So you finally got one.
well, no, he waved me off. And I hadn't got one.
Oh.
But, of course, when somebody waves you off, what do? You just come back later.
Right.
So I came back a half hour later, and I heard Warren Spahn coming up the runway, and he said, hey, Willie, and I thought this would be my chance. And I waited, and as Warren grabbed the back of Willie's neck, Willie looked up, and I shot that smile. So that's the smile for Warren, but I got it.
Your patience paid off.
Right,
Those
right.
are Warren Spahn's hands.
Right, that's right.
Let's go. Let's move on to the next one here.
Okay.
One of my favorite people, I love this photograph, Robin Williams. Was this in Baltimore or Washington? You remember?
That was Washington.
So you hit Baltimore, Washington.
Right.
A lot of celebrities coming through. And he was pretty nice about this?
He was great.
Now, who gives you a hard time? You've had some close encounters with bodyguards, security guards who don't want you around?
I've had some hard times. You know, Clint Eastwood is not really into photos, I noticed.
Yeah, and he's been in town. He was in town this year working on a new movie.
He's in here.
Do you have a photograph of Clint?
Yeah, but Clint, you know, I had to put the camera through the car window.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't really want to do that. But let's see, where There, it really hurt me to do that.
Yeah, it's not a flattering
But
picture.
it would have
He
hurt
does
me
not
more
look
if
like
I
he's in a good mood
Yeah,
here.
well, it would have hurt me more if I hadn't got those photos.
Right. You're lucky he wasn't holding some heat there.
Yeah, there you go.
Good. All right, what else you got? Let's hand them to me and tell me a little bit about each. Let's see if we're...
That's Mr. Aldrin.
That's the astronaut, Buzz Aldrin, right?
Yeah. Now, that's off the Larry King set.
How'd you get on the Larry King set?
Well, you know, I called down and I
How'd
said...
you get on the Dan Rodericks set? No, I'm just kidding. How did you get on Larry King?
Well, I called down and I said that I was worked with some of the Baltimore papers. And so she said, fine. So she walked me onto the CNN set with Larry and said, Larry, how you doing? This is John Smith, and he works for the Baltimore Sun.
Right. Which, of course, you don't.
Which, of course, I don't. And
maybe you should. These are some good photographs.
So
they just let you sit there?
Well, he started asking me questions and kind of put me on the spot, so it was
and you got a picture of his guest, Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, Buzz, yeah.
Oh, nice man. Red Skelton, right?
Yeah, that's Red Skelton.
In Baltimore or Washington?
That was Baltimore. He was absolutely charming, absolutely wonderful.
Let's keep moving here through these. I want to see some more.
Okay.
Somebody's eating a crab here.
Well, that was last weekend. I had a wonderful weekend last weekend with this lovely lady, Martha Reeves.
Martha Reeves.
Although I'm not sure if she's eating a crab or the crab's eating her.
Right.
But
she didn't mind you being up close?
Nah, she actually paid me for some work last week.
Okay.
And this is she is absolutely wonderful.
Okay. Now this one, I knew this face. It took me a minute. One of the Supremes.
Oh yeah, Mary Wilson.
Mary Wilson. Great picture. That's what impresses me. I mean, these photographs, you're not standing across the street getting shots of people coming out of hotels and whatnot. This is up fairly close. This is Gorbachev. You get the real good look at the spot on his head there. And oh my goodness.
I guess I should tell you that story.
Tell us this story.
About Miss Parks.
Rosa Parks.
That was recently at the Black Caucus. We finally got a chance to go up to where the president and Miss Parks was, finally. And they got us up there, and she's standing on the stage by the president. Actually, the president's over here. I cut him out.
His shoulder?
No, the president's here. But
you cropped him out of the shot.
Yeah, I cropped him out of the
shot.
shot.
Republicans won't mind.
No, but what happened was I just standing there, and I blurted it out. I said, Miss Parks, you're lovely. And I didn't expect anybody to hear it. I just said it. The next thing I know, the President of the United States said, and one of the photographers down here says that she's lovely.
Right.
And,
and you didn't even have credentials.
Right. And she looked at me, and she looked at me and just beamed.
Yeah, that's a historical figure.
Well, she's
it's just not,
not
one
just
of those
a star.
supermarket rag celebrities. That's a historical figure. And also this man.
This man is, that was probably the best day of my photography life. I sat there in the coffee shop that morning, brooding over whether it was going to be the best day of my life or the worst day, knowing it would be one of the two. And
did you tell me you sent Nelson Mandela
Yes, I did.
photograph?
Yes, I did. And he was gracious enough to send me a letter back, which meant the world to me.
And I really like this shot, too. This is Billy Ripken. You showed me this last week. Billy Ripken with a ticket to 21-31, right?
Right, exactly.
The game where his brother broke the record of Lou Gehrig.
And I was down there to get Big Joe that night, and I was, DiMaggio, but I hadn't figured out how I was getting into the stadium at that point. In fact, I shouldn't. Well, Mr. Bierman from 13 got me in. At any rate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Another station helped you. That's all right.
But
you're a schmoozer, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
You have to schmooze.
Yeah, you got to schmooze a little.
Can I see the Joe DiMaggio?
Oh, yeah, that was that night. Yeah.
Huh?
That was that night.
And you got Joe here. Was he pretty gracious?
Yeah, Joe was fine.
Who has been nasty?
Well,
straight out nasty. Like get out of my way. No? Not straight on?
Most of the stars really are gracious. There's a few. There's a few. I really didn't care for Ted Williams at all.
Oh, well,
Ted Williams,
been that way a long time.
Yeah. Some of the sports stars, they are a little not quite as gracious.
Yeah.
But the movie stars and so on are normally great.
Did you get a picture of the Pope last year? Pope was in Baltimore. I assume you would.
I guess you wanted to get onto my failures, didn't you?
Well.
Okay. Well, that's a major failure.
You didn't get the Pope.
No,
That's
I didn't.
You told me you didn't get the Pope.
I didn't get the Pope. I have to admit this on TV.
But you want the close-up. See, everybody got, that's all right. Everybody got a shot of the Pope going by on Charles Street, right?
Right, exactly. I wanted
the close-up.
So I did. It's true that I was over there with the Secret Service, and I was schmoozing a little bit and trying to find a way to get closer. And he told me, I would be fine, that he was going to get me in there close.
Okay. Do you sell these pictures?
But it didn't work out.
Do you sell these?
Yes, I do. I sell them to the public.
You have one more to show us here? We got time for one more here. Shirley MacLaine. In Baltimore?
Yes, that was Baltimore.
Oh, way to go. She looks kind of old there, doesn't she?
Well, no, that's a wig. No, that's a wig.
Oh,
She's wearing the wig from the show.
Is this that movie?
Yeah, Guarding Tess.
Guarding,
right.
sorry. I'm sorry, I gotta say. Earlier, I kept a a little too long. So. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, John Matthew Smith, and good luck. I'll see you out there somewhere on the beat, right? Stay
Right.
out of trouble.
Okay.
And speaking of celebrities, if you are a fan of daytime talk shows, you'll want to stay put. When we return, we'll meet a former talk show producer who has plenty to say about the TV talk industry, including the latest controversy surrounding the Jenny Jones show. Rodericks for breakfast. We'll be right back.
You handsome devil, you lady killer. From manicures to facials to plastic surgery and even girdles, News Channel 2 finds out why men are so vain. Monday on News Channel 2, first at 5. Coverage, community, commitment.
On the next Rosie, he's out of this world. Third rock from the Sun's John Lithgow. And you know her from Melrose Place, Daphne Zuniga. Then check out Marty Abi's Matthew Fox, plus Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop on the next Rosie.
Monday at 4 on News Channel 2.
If it's time you got into the computer revolution, then it's time for you to get into Best Buy. Because this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, all computers are priced at just 7% over cost or less. Every computer, every monitor, and every printer. It ends Saturday. And with prices this low, this promotion is not valid with any other offer. Computers, monitors, and printers at just 7% over cost or less. And with no payments at all for 6 months. Getting into a new computer is as easy as getting into Best Buy.
We're at Mars, and we're talking produce. Fruit. I always come here for my fruit. They have the best.
It's nice and fresh, and they restock it often.
So we can go anywhere else. It's always good and fresh.
It's always fresh.
It's always fresh, and you have a wide variety.
And that's why we keep coming back.
That's Mars.
Hatfield fully cooked boneless hams, your choice, $2.59 a pound. McCormick Brown Gravy Mix, 3 envelopes for 99 cents. And Mrs. Filbert's Real Mayonnaise, 32-ounce jar, 99 cents, limit 1. Now through Tuesday at Mars.
It's the best of both worlds. Closeout prices on remaining 96s or introductory prices on incoming 97s. During final Chevy closeout, Cavaliers are rolling out as fast as they're rolling in. Why? Unbeatable value. Air conditioning, power steering, dual airbags, and now final closeout prices. The dealing starts with $11,710. It's the inexpensive, expensive car. Time is money. The last Cavaliers are going fast. If you can find one, buy one. See your local Chevy Geo dealers today.
Television, the drug of a nation, breeding ignorance and feeding radiation on television. The drug of a nation.
Welcome back. Jurors in the so-called talk show murder trial in Michigan say they're at a standstill but will resume deliberations Tuesday morning. The defendant, Jonathan Schmitz, faces life without parole if he is convicted in the first-degree murder of Scott Amador. Schmitz allegedly shot Amador on March 9, 1995, after appearing on the Jenny Jones show to meet his secret admirer. The prosecution tried to prove that Jenny Jones and producers of that show led Schmitz to believe that his admirer would be a woman.
You knew that at the time you received your folder of materials for the show that was going to be taped the following day on March 6, 1995, you knew on March 5, 1995, that John's secret admirer was not going to be a woman, didn't you?
Yes.
They argued that the killing was motivated by the embarrassment of being on TV. Jones also testified that she often has no advance warning of the topics for the next day's show.
Well, I'm not necessarily given advance warning. If I want to know what the topic is, I look. Sometimes I don't look until the night before the show.
The defense argued that Schmitz has a history of clinical depression and Graves' disease. It was not in a rational state of mind at the time of the killing. Everyone seems to have an opinion on this case. We'd like to hear yours. 481-9910 is the phone number for Rodericks for breakfast. Has TV talk gone too far, and what impact will this case have on the industry in general? Joy Rolla is a former talk show producer. She worked on the Jenny Jones show in its first year before it became tabloid. She also worked on the Jane Whitney show and the Jerry Springer show. She's now a vice president of television and video services of the Widmeyer Baker Group in Washington. Nice to see you, Joy.
Hi.
Thanks for coming to Baltimore.
Sure.
Thanks for coming to our show. You worked on Jenny Jones. I remember there was a year there when this was said to be a sort of serious show for women. Not serious,
It
but
was a
more
variety. It was kind of a...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a kind of variety.
Oh, not a
talk.
tabloid show.
It was the executive producer was a former Entertainment Tonight producer, kind of variety talent. Fun, very fun, nice show. and that's when I worked on it.
Okay. Did you leave because you saw a change coming, or they announced the change?
No,
or?
at that point I was a producer in Hollywood, and I was a kind of a troubleshooter producer.
Right.
I worked on that show for a while to get it up to speed, and then the same company owned the Jane Whitney show, which was just in production. Then I went and worked on that for a while to help it
Been
get
so
up.
many of these shows.
And then at that point, I got a lot of different offers. This was back in 1990.
Right. And you went to Springer eventually.
And
Jerry
then
Springer.
Multimedia, which owned Donahue and Sally Jesse Raphael, was doing the national launch of the Jerry Springer show. So I agreed to move from Los Angeles to Chicago for the national launch, but that show was not what they told me it was going to be. And once I recognized that, and it was 2 weeks into it, I realized I had made a big mistake by doing that kind of show.
You made a big mistake because you just didn't want to be involved in that kind of a show.
Right, and it took me 4 months to get out of the contract, and I finally did, and then...
Why, Joey? You were being forced to do things you didn't want to do, to cajole people into coming onto the show, seduce people to come onto the show?
It was...
What was it?
It was that I was being asked to produce programs that just didn't... I saw no point in putting these kind of programs on the air, and the kind of pressure that a producer is put under to come up with guests that are outrageous. I would put together what I thought was a perfectly fine show. I remember one show on divorce that I put together, and it was, you know, having gone through a divorce myself, I know the issues, I know what really matters to people, the kind of emotions, the kind of things that you want to know about, and I put together a very solid show, and I brought it into the executive producer of the show, and she said, no, that's not good enough. You got something more? No, I want something else.
Right.
And then I said,
arguing,
well, I've got this couple where, you want me to tell you?
No, that's all right. I think I understand, because we've seen enough of those shows, but what I don't get is the proliferation of these shows, the number of them, especially in the late 80s, early 90s, up until now, and the popularity of some of them that go for this kind of what I call trash. I mean, I don't...
Well, I think it's very easy to understand.
Well, tell me.
Well, it's very easy to understand that, I mean, I think the daytime viewer, I mean, it's like pornography, mental pornography. I mean, they want the more salacious they can get.
Right.
That's what they want, and the more that the production companies serve up that kind of thing and get it on the air, the higher ratings they get. A friend of mine said, if you look for the outrageous, you are going to create the outrageous, and I think that's what the Jenny Jones show was. I mean, it finally pushed the final envelope. I mean, the final line, what more can you do than someone dies because of a talk show?
Right.
And that's what happened.
And I also want to know that the family in this case, the family of the victim in this case, has filed a wrongful death suit against Jenny Jones, or Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers Telepictures.
Right, right. I mean, I don't think we've seen anything like this before, obviously. I mean, this is a first, but does it surprise you that something like this could eventually happen?
It didn't surprise me at all, because the kinds of people that go on talk shows are the kinds of people that are looking for something more in their life, I believe. I've been on the other line trying to talk somebody to come on a show that they really don't want to do.
Right.
And again, when I was being pressured to produce these kind of salacious programs that I didn't want to be producing, but I had pressure, I was pulling down a big salary, and I had to earn it.
Right.
And that was by producing these shows.
Jenny Jones advertised in the Baltimore Sun and other newspapers. I've seen them. Classified ads say, if you hate your mother-in-law, or if you'd like to...
or if you've blown apart somebody's marriage, or if you...
Right, or if your wife is a stripper and you don't like her doing this, call us, right? People come to these shows. They are drawn to be guests on the show. I don't know how Schmitz exactly got on the show.
Oh, I think it was... a friend of his contacted or something.
The woman who was sitting next to him brokered this deal, right?
And he thought it would be fun. And, the idea of being flown to a big city, put up in a hotel, be on television, it's fun. It's a big deal. It's a big show. And it is. And, I've been involved in shows, many of them, that it was wonderful. And everybody got something out of it. But then there are the other ones. And when I was working on the Jerry Springer show, and I mean, it just crossed the line where it didn't make you feel good anymore. Just recently there was a movie of the week. It was about a producer who put the same type of thing and exploited this young girl on the set. I couldn't believe it. It was my life. That was my life, and I quit. I just quit.
Joy Roll is our guest. We're going to take a break here, Joy. Come back and take some calls, because I know people want to talk about this. Fascinating. 481-9910 is our phone number. You can fax your comment at 481-9446. We'll be right back.
Can you afford to buy your own home? The answer is yes with Lucky Realty Homes. For less than what you pay now in rent, you can buy your own beautifully rebuilt home with your choice of carpets, paint, and more. All over Baltimore City and County, and no credit is okay. Plus, your down payment problem is solved with Lucky's exclusive layaway option plan. Let Lucky make the American dream come true for you. Call 484-9173 now. Attention property owners. Lucky Realty Homes will buy your home as is and give you all cash and quick settlement. Call today.
If this is the only way you can enjoy the feel of the open road because your auto insurance was canceled, it's time to take the interstate and call Interstate Insurance Agency at 788-0112. Interstate Insurance will give you an accurate quote, not just a figure to get you into the door, and immediate coverage with a low down payment. If you're a driver who's been canceled or has too many tickets, take a turn to reality with Interstate Insurance. Call Interstate Insurance Agency at 788-0112 today.
This is it. At last, it's finally here. So get ready. It's the biggest holiday sale in Carpet Fair's history. Every store is celebrating with tremendous savings. 33 to 66% off wall-to-wall carpet, remnants, area rugs, and much more. Hundreds of styles, colors, and patterns, all 33 to 66% off. Plus, get free financing. Pay no interest till May 97. This incredible holiday sale ends Monday when the doors close at 9. Get your new carpet installed before the holidays. Hurry into Carpet Fair today.
Now, you can enjoy the exotic beauty of tropical fish without the exotic price. Come to the Aquarium Center, Maryland's largest discount aquarium store. The Aquarium Center, with over 550 centrally filtered tanks, brimming with healthy, fresh, and saltwater fish. The Aquarium Center, offering a premier selection of aquariums from beginner to advanced, and all at warehouse prices. The Aquarium Center, 9000 block Liberty Road, just 3½ miles west of Beltway Exit 18 in the Randallstown Plaza.
Welcome back, everyone. We're back with Joy Rolla, former talk show host. Give us a call right now, 481-9910. If you want to talk about this, it's been called the Jenny Jones case. It's really the Schmitz murder case up in Pontiac, Michigan. Regina's our first caller. Regina, good morning to you.
Good morning. I think what no one has said so far this
Excuse me,
morning...
we need to turn up our speaker a little bit so we can hear you, Regina. Just go ahead, guys. All right, Regina.
I think what no one has said so far this morning is that the guests themselves are responsible for their actions. These talk shows can't even exist if the guest does not come on the show and act the way we've seen them act.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our responsibility as the audience and as the guests.
You're right. That's what amazes me, Joy. Last night, John Stossel on 2020 had a couple of guys on talking about how much sports TV they watch at the expense of their marriage. You know, they don't even talk to their wives. They watch sports 30 hours a week, some of them. Where do you find people willing to go on national television and admit things like this?
I think the caller's making a good point, though, that, television is this big mystery and this wonderful thing. People, you turn the television on somebody and they will say, or the camera on, they'll say something that they would never normally say. And people just get all excited. Don't you think?
I've found that in some cases, but I also found people who freeze up and are very intimidated.
Yeah, but that's what the talk show producers do, is they get those juicy stories and pull it out of people and say, oh, it's going to be okay. No, don't worry, that's not going to happen. It's going to be all right. And that's how people who have, some way,